You guys understand how interest impact your student loan, right? Once you understand your student loan, because the reason why, I started with the student loan is because it's literally progressing to once you pay your student loan, then you might have a mortgage loan, etc., right? Once you understand how interest works, it's the same, regardless of what it is. So we're looking at a balance that's a typical balance, right? $15,000 is actually considered low. $15,000 is a lot of money, but it's still considered low to just have a $15,000 balance if you graduate. All right, so we'll look at a low interest. Interest, guys, if you guys don't know, you may have heard, on your student loans, even if they're, private, interest on student loans is still fairly low compared to, other types of loans. So 4.5% is fairly low. So let's say, for example, we graduate from IT and you guys are science majors and so forth, and you have $15,000. The lenders are saying that the terms are 10 years repayable, and that's basically 120 months to pay it. You're paying on a monthly basis if you don't start to accelerate at 4.5% interest, right? Your monthly loan payments calculated. You guys, they have loan calculators online. I was a finance major, so I use Excel. There's a built-in function. If you guys are familiar with Excel, you can just do a payment function and put in your terms and interest, etc. But it'll calculate the payment. $155 will be your payment on a $15,000 loan. The interest that you'll pay over the 10 years is almost $4,000. And believe it or not, that's actually not bad once you start seeing someone who has, maybe you guys are like medical professions and you guys, or lawyers, they have more loans. So that's just a regular, loan without an extra payment, etc. So now we're looking at one when we have the same low balance, right, $15,000, but now you're going to put an extra $25 per week towards your loan, right? So now you're thinking like, all right, I just graduated. How do I have an extra $25 per week? I'm sure I can help you guys with that, right? So listen, guys, here's a tip. When you start off, just don't get cable, right? You don't get cable. There's your $25 right there. And I'm serious. Don't get cable, and you're going to start working, right? When you work, you're going to be at the office. Don't go out for lunch every day. Take this, cook, and then take it the next day. Take a sandwich, take something that $25 to ensure you have $25. Look what happens when we pay an extra $25 per week on the $15,000 loan. You reduce your number of payments. On the other, when you're just making your monthly payments, you had 120 payments, which was 10 years. You reduced it down to almost 7. You reduced it down to almost 7 years, and your total interest is $2,000. Can you guys see?
I know.
You guys should have said that. Like, sorry. Okay, all this time, guys, you should have told me. So now what you see is on the other loan where it was $150,000, 10 years, we had 120 monthly payments. Now, guys, you have less than 70 monthly payments, right? That's 70. That's 7 years basically. And you had $3,600 of interest on the other loan. Now, guys, we knock off basically all like $1,600 in interest to $2,000 just by making an extra $25 a week. And listen, guys, what I tell you, if you don't have it, cut the cable off. But this is really practical advice when I was, preparing to speak to you guys. Keep your internet, right? They have the live streaming services, and I'm not a streamer, but I'm sure you guys are. You can watch the same stuff that you would watch. So cable is expensive. Keep the internet. You guys need the internet. You need to do research and so forth. You're going to be working. Keep the internet. Cut the cable off. Take your lunch. That's $25. And I promise you guys, if you do this, had I been in your seat where you are and I have known this, I would have been in a much better situation. Now here's one where I was telling you before, like, unfortunately, for certain careers, and it's great, for certain careers, you're going to have more years in school, right? Which means you're going to I went to grad school. Fortunately, my grad school was covered by my employer. But sometimes people are going to have to just particularly for medical professions, you're going to have to go straight through. So $50,000 is high, but it's really not even. I've seen $70,000, $80,000. But let's look at this same example, guys. 50,000, 10 years, 7.5%. Now this is what, again, start looking at the interest, right? The other one we saw, it was low interest, right? 4.5%. That's fairly low. 7.5% is more realistic for a private loan. 7.5% interest, 10 years. Your monthly payments is $594. Your total interest paid is almost a little more than $21,000 just in interest. That's a lot of money. Now, again, $25, and I keep telling you guys $25. It seems like nothing, right? Now we got $50,000. What is $25,000 or $25 per month going to do to help us with our loan? With an extra $25 per month, guys, look what just happened. You go from 120 monthly payments to now 96 monthly payments. We had a little over $21,000 of interest on the last loan, right? The last scenario. You now have $17,000, right? It went from a little over 21 to $17,000 just by putting an extra $25 per month.